On this day, 74 years ago, on May 23, 1951, the 17-point agreement, a controversial yet pivotal document, was signed under duress between Tibetan representatives and the People's Republic of China. This agreement marked a turning point in Tibet's history, effectively ending its de facto independence. While China continues to cite it as the legal basis for its claim over Tibet, the document has long been rejected by the Tibetan exile community and the Central Tibetan Administration, who argue it was signed under coercion. To reflect on the lasting implications of this agreement, the Regional Tibetan Youth Congress Dharamshala organized a panel discussion on its 74th anniversary. The discussion featured Dr. Tsewang Topla, a senior lecturer at Sara College, Tenzin Lekshe, spokesperson of the Central Tibetan Administration, exile activist Tenzin Tsintu, and Dr. Lobsang Yangso, researcher at the International Tibet Network.
For China today, 17-point agreement is their lame crutch. This is the document they are using as their evidence to say that Tibet has acceded to China's rule. In reality, what is called 17-point agreement, these were the 17 points. Firstly, they themselves drafted this. They made the Tibetan representatives sign this with force, with the warning of threat to personal lives, and also with the warning that otherwise they would lead a bloody military invasion of Tibet. So under that duress, the Tibetan representatives had to sign this in the year 1951, 23rd of May, which is today. So since it was made to sign under duress like that, international law anywhere, it says that any kind of agreement which has been forced upon, thrust upon other people, is null and void. There's no agreement which remains valid after being enforced in this manner. Not only this, after the signing of the 17-point agreement, every point of the 17-point agreements China trampled upon. They said they were giving the Tibetan people right to practice their religion, culture, and their customary ways of running their life. China trampled upon that. China killed more than 1 million Tibetans. China destroyed more than 6,000 monasteries. Tibet was decimated in that way through the Cultural Revolution. So in that way, China trampled upon all of this. So this is to show how China made the 17-point agreement null and void. And yet China continues to use this as their lame crutch to maintain their control over Tibet. Now the problem is, at the time, much of the international communities, they were confused. They were looking at Taiwan as the representative of China, and later with American support, China replaced Taiwan at the United Nations. So most of the countries at the time, they were unsure of the situation in Tibet. And we failed in making the international community aware of what was happening on the ground level. Today, China is using that, the 17-point agreement, to maintain their dictatorial control over Tibet, and by displacing the Tibetan nomads, taking away their pasture land, bombing them, mining lithium, rare earths, and selling it to countries around the world. So this is the situation today. So therefore, I feel it is important for every Tibetan to be aware of their 17-point agreement, the real history behind it, and how China politicizes such a document and continues to show this as their way of legitimizing their control over Tibet.
China over the years has laid its claim over Tibet on the basis of the 17-point agreement. It also appears to have become the basis for the position of some of the international community. But speaking from a legal perspective, any agreement signed under duress or coercion or use of force is considered invalid under international law, which is the Vienna Convention on the Law of Treaties, Article 52. So given that, how can this document be strengthened in the case against the legitimacy of the 17-point agreement?
I think from the international perspective, it is a right time for the international community to revise their policy with regards to Tibet. Whereas, the Tibetan people, Tibetan community, His Holiness the Dalai Lama also appeals to the international community to have a strong policy with regard to Tibet. Whereas, for me, right now, what I feel is none of the international governments or the international community have courage to come out to say that Tibet was never part of China and China has occupied Tibet. So, but with international law, as you have mentioned earlier, 17-point agreement is not valid according to the Vienna Convention, and thus it is right time for the governments to revise their policy and recognize that historically Tibet was an independent country, and then the international community also should create a situation or conditions where both the Tibet and China's conflict can be resolved. And with that, I think the international community, it is also very, very important to listen to what the Tibetans are saying and also to understand the current situation inside Tibet and Chinese repressive policies inside Tibet.